Alright, my His Only Son review is fucking Teletubbies compared to this. Do the thing! Fuck you! Oh, I'm sorry. That was insufficient. Hold on, one moment. Fuck you! One more. Fuck you! And once more with feeling. It's the Angry Grant Show live, everyone. You know, people ask me sometimes, why do you get so mad when you see a bad movie? I want to do some math with you all, even though, bear with me, math is not my strong suit. Clearly. I am going to be 30 this year. In our lifespan, we are lucky if we hit 100 years of life. Most of us maybe get up to maybe 80, alright? So, by that logic, if I'm lucky, if I win the life lottery, if you will, the lottery of fate, I have 7 more decades on this planet. 70 years in the span of time really is not that long. I just wasted 98 minutes of the 70 years I have left. Hey, what's up, Drew? I just spent 98 minutes of the 70 years I have left in the company of terrible people, and that's what my audience was. I'm going to call them out. They were terrible. Listen here. Listen to me. The worst movie ever. This is it, people. There is no lower. There is no lower to go. So, Nefarious. I was thinking some nefarious thoughts during this. Is directed and written by Chuck Konzelman and Terry Silverman. Hey, look, they're 2 old white guys who previously wrote the God's Not Dead films, and also previously wrote and directed Unplanned. Which, for those who haven't seen Unplanned, sadly I'm not one of those people, let me give you a taste of this guy's hateful rhetoric. There's a scene in that film, Unplanned, in which a character who is now anti-Planned Parenthood sees the president of a Planned Parenthood walking up a steps. She turns to her husband and says, and mind you, I'm slightly paraphrasing, but the meat of it is true. Awesome, I'll have to check it out, buddy. I'll check it out. Go check out his Lego shirt. Marvel shirt. Anyway, The View with Drew's cool. Go check him out. Give him a subscribe. Anyway, he's good people. Unlike the people who made this movie. So, yeah, walking up the steps. Lady, anti-Planned Parenthood lady, turns to her husband and says, and I quote, "Is it strange that I want to go over there and punch her in the face?" And then her husband turns to her takes a beat and turns to her and says, "No, honey, that's my job." I have to be real with you, Ryan. I watched your review literally as I was preparing to go live on this. Yeah. Okay. We will get there, Ryan. Thank you so much. Go check out RWR Movie Reviews, my buddy Ryan Conway. He's a cool dude. He makes good stuff. This movie, this is a fuck the plot situation, but essentially what this film is about is this guy who is on death row. The opening scene of the movie. Also, there was a poll, real quick before we begin, really proper, because we're going to talk about this for a while. This is going to be a long one. I just have a feeling. On Twitter, hearing about what this movie was going to be, put a poll out while I was waiting for the film to start, asking people, how long my score would plummet from a 5 to a 0 into Nefarious. It is an even split between 1 minute and less than 1 minute. It's the latter. It took me 30 seconds to hate this movie. Maybe not even that much. So the movie begins with a long, endless spoilers, by the way. This is going to be a full spoiler review. This is going to be a breakdown of the whole movie, basically. The beginning of the movie is, and also when we get to trailer trash, I almost want to put this at the beginning, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it because this is part of the thing. So the movie begins with a lawyer leaving his desk, going down his elevator, going elevator up, and with a very bad Wilhelm scream, falling to his death, committing suicide. Title. We then go to a very, 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 very poorly rendered transitional shot to a prison with terrible sound mixing. Our hero, of sorts, is a gentleman who is going there to decide the fate of this prisoner on death row, whose entire acting ability is essentially a mix of and that's his style of acting when he's not the demon. And when he is the demon, he thinks he's a demon, by the way. It's this. Listen, James. That is every scene with this guy. He's fingernails on a blackboard from the beginning. And then the other guy, the psychiatrist, his whole character is I don't believe you because I'm a liberal atheist. And then this. That's their acting in the whole movie. And they're the only two actors really we see. This whole movie is mostly in this meeting area between these two guys. It's a two-hander, basically. And it's marketed like a horror film, and Ryan brought this up, and he's absolutely right. This is not a horror film, except in its ideology. Otherwise, it is not a horror film. True! Thank you, Ryan. He went to being... When he was the demon, he talked... And the other thing is he emphasized every syllable. That was the other thing that was really irritating, is he would go like, James... Like that kind of acting. James. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Anyway. So as the movie's going on, he tells him basically, when this day ends, you will commit 3 murders. First one, apparently, is he made the choice to let his mother, the psychiatrist, die with dignity because she was terminally ill. He's hellbound for that, apparently. Yeah, suffering is much better than giving someone an out. Sure, Drew, go ahead, buddy. I will appreciate that. I'll check it out when we're done here. And for those watching, you can find it also in the chat. But this movie, basically, don't let people die with dignity. Second one is, and I know this is a loaded topic, and I feel like I'm not going to give my stance on it, but you probably can tell from my reaction to this. The second death, allegedly, is his unborn child, because he and his girlfriend got an abortion, which he compares to ritualistic sacrifice of infants at the altar of Satan. And then claims that not only is his lover going to hell and him, his newborn is already here. Fuck you. And then the third death is the big one. His own death. The death of the patient. You see, This movie also takes time out to note, basically in the mind of this demon who is basically actually just, he is the devil because he's basically alt-right, but this is aimed at an alt-right audience. Also basically in this time claims that atheism of any kind or doubt in God of any kind is hellbound and evil. Homosexuality is evil and hellbound. Transgenderism is evil. Liking films made by the political left is evil. Consuming media of any kind that involves anything involving the political left is evil. And capital punishment and executing patients, executing inmates, is the right thing to do, and is the only noble thing to do. And better yet, don't just execute them, don't even give them the basic human dignity of a last meal. And if they ask for it, or change their mind when they ask for it, turn away coldly. Those are the heroes of this movie, by the way. They're portrayed as the good guys. And then, if that scene wasn't enough, we proceed to have a spectator of the execution, who's a cop, informing the psychiatrist that his choice to have him be executed is the greatest thing he could have ever done, and then makes a crack about how all the scumbags in this prison are one step closer to death, and how great is that? Before we witness, in pretty graphic detail, them giving this man, who is not in control of himself and his own mental state, the electric chair. And then the day is saved because our hero goes on Glenn Beck and renounces his quote-unquote sinful ways. Movies like this are everything that's wrong with the conservative evangelical sides of cinema. This movie, and then it sets up for a sequel that hopefully will never happen. And I was sitting in a theater with 10 other people, all of whom laughed at every pro-alt-right bullet point. I don't mean to review the audience. I'm going to review the audience. Fuck them, and fuck this movie, and fuck the people who made it. I'm mad. The dude directly in front of me was dressed in a hat and a coat and was twitching around, and the only time he seemed human, he was scowling. The only time that I noticed him being human is when they mentioned something that stuck it to the libs. And then immediately, right on. Fuck you. Whole theater was doing that. It pissed me off. The only thing they really didn't touch on, they touch on in the trailer trash. Oh boy, do they. We'll get there. That's a whole other can of worms they're about to open. This is a terrible movie made by terrible people who do not deserve to be making movies that get this level of distribution. This movie is in almost 1,000 theaters. Shame on the studio who put this out, which I don't even believe is a real studio. I think it's this guy's production company. It was self-financed. Similar to Spinning Gold. This is worse than Spinning Gold. I didn't think that was possible. I thought we had reached... It's worse than Blood and Honey. You know how I said with Blood and Honey that we're so below the bottom of the barrel, we're drilling a hole in the center of the earth? I think we drilled a hole deeper, went out of somehow survived the center of the earth, went back up into the barrel, drilled through it, back through the center of the earth 17 more times. This movie is actually evil because it creates and it reinforces and it vindicates the mentalities of people who actively are hurting other people. Like, it's not merely a movie to them. It is to us who don't take this seriously, but we should take this seriously. Because it is emboldening the rhetoric of the type of people who stormed the Capitol 2 or 3 years ago. This should not be the people we endorse, guys. No. No. Well, 2 years ago, rather. A little over 2 years ago. This is awful. This is really... And I've seen some shit. I saw Unplanned. I saw Hillary's America. I saw all that. God's Not Dead 1 and 2. Not the other ones. This is worse. This is Redeeming Love. Spinning Go. This is worse. This movie is creating an entire... is emboldening the type of people, and it's who are really have already damaged this country to an insane degree and are going to continue to do so. This is awful. This is evil. This is not America. This is not what America's about. This is what, and when it was what it was about, those were evil. To even have the gall that this movie has to suggest that we shouldn't teach slavery in schools. That was another point they brought up, is critical race theory, and I'm tired of people. Stop saying critical race theory. You are all full of shit, okay? You're full of just vile, putrid, rotting from the inside, just putrid shit. That's what you are. That's what you are, is shit. For doing that. Thinking that that is okay. Because it says there are more slaves now in America than there ever were during the times of slavery. Really? Oh, fuck you. Who the hell are you? Huh? You're wrong. I hate this movie. I hate this movie. I hate the people who made it. I hate everything they stand for. I do not want this movie to get a sequel. I don't want this movie to ever. I want this to just go away. If there's one movie I think deserves to be erased from the record books of history, it's this one. This is the bottom of the barrel. It is the lowest of the low. Also, it's based on a book. I had to look this up, by an author who has openly opposed gay rights and LGBTQ causes, and has openly opposed and fueled the seeds of people who are committing violent acts against the LGBTQ plus community. Fuck this movie. Fuck the people who made it. Double middle finger. This is the worst movie ever I have ever seen. 0 stars for Nefarious. This was just the less than that. It's almost not. Even giving it 0 stars feels too complimentary. Don't see this movie because you're curious. Don't see this movie because, oh, Grant got mad, that means it must be worth seeing. Don't. Don't give these people your money. Don't give them your attention. Don't give them, and don't go in thinking it's a horror film. Because it's not. Fuck this movie. Now let's get into Trailer Trash, because the one humorous thing for a little while was Trailer Trash. Because our theater clearly did not know what this movie was or how to program trailers for it. So, there were 3 Red Band trailers in front of this. I don't even think this movie's, it's rated R, but barely. Evil Dead Rise Red Band trailer. I'm seeing this movie for sure now. And I'm excited for it because, man, it does look good, actually. But I'm like, again, I would be seeing it regardless. I'm a fan of Evil Dead, but still. Joyride. This is another Red Band trailer. A movie, you know, hardcore, progressive, R-rated, raunchy, female-driven comedy with an all-Asian American cast. Who thought to put that in front of this? I'm not saying that because I'm against it. I'm saying the audience clearly wasn't having this. I, on the other hand, think this looks great. The Boogeyman talked about it. Looks all right, I guess. The Last Voyage of the Meteor talked about it. Looks pretty good. The Machine Red Band trailer. Again, violent, weird comedy. Who would put someone in Blackberry, which actually is supposed to be really good. Why? And then we get to our last trailer, everyone. Now, I usually don't do full trailer reactions, but I feel the need to describe this trailer to you because I couldn't believe it. And that was a really, really good taste of what was coming. So I mentioned that there was one thing they forgot to bring up, and that was the guns. But the filmmakers didn't forget. The movie forgot. The filmmakers didn't. we see the Green Band appear. And then here's what we see. In 1918, they took our guns, and freedom fell. In 1933, in Germany, they took our guns, and freedom fell. In 2024, in America, they will take our guns. Not this time. Dun, 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 dun. Crappy American flag clip art, The Last Patriot. In theaters, July 4th, 2024. I'm just sitting there like, fade out, Nicole Kidman. I was sitting there going, oh, what am I signed up for? It just got worse and worse and worse. Wow! You really want the people who see this movie to do horrible things, don't you? What a vile, despicable, evil film this was. And the people who made it. I hated this movie. Yeah, this is not going to be a situation like David Helling, where it turns out I'm in a... Because even that movie, I didn't like it, but I didn't think it was hateful. This is a case where if one of these two schmucks try to comment at me on my review, I'll block them and tell them to go fuck themselves. Because this I don't want them to see this. I also don't want them to... I don't care what they have to say about it, or any of the people who like this movie, because you're wrong. This is a case where I can feel pretty safe in that I make it sort of a policy to say that no one is wrong in liking a movie, but in this case, I can't say that. Because there's at least a part of the viewer who would like this movie who is hateful. Just by the nature of what this movie is. It doesn't even try to hide it. There's no insidiousness. It's all there. There's no subtext. There's just text here. This is fueling the fire of hate. That is what this movie is. And I hated it. And was there short? Yeah, there was a weird audio thing after the credits. So what? Who fucking cares? This movie also isn't a horror film. So yeah, Nefarious, that took a little less time than I expected, but yeah, Nefarious, I can go watch Rain Dogs now, right? We really need to talk about Nefarious anymore. Like, it's horrible. Don't go see it. It's the worst film of the year. Nothing could be worse than this. And I know I said that during Spinning Gold, but I mean it this time. Nothing could be worse. Outside of Nazi propaganda, and that's basically what this was, nothing could be worse than this. Fuck this movie. Bye. We're done. Nefarious, we're done. But luckily Wednesday, apparently, according to the author of the book it's based on, the movie we're seeing on Wednesday is better than the book, which is amazing because I love the book. We're going to see an early screening of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret on Wednesday, so that's going to be coming up. We also have reviews coming up this weekend. Come Hell or High Water for Beau is Afraid. Possibly Somewhere in Queens. Possibly Chevalier. Definitely Evil Dead Rise. Definitely The Covenant. It depends on what comes where and when I can go. My feet are getting tired from being in this position. Sorry, people. And more to come. That'll all be next time. And until next time. Oh, and Attack of the Dock. And Ghosted. So that's all coming up. And that'll all be next time. And until next time, geez, I'm Greg, the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love all classes missed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Facebook, you know where to go. Letterboxd, you know where to go. Serialized, you know where to go. Go check out The View with Drew's channel. Go check RWR Movie Reviews channel. Go check out their stuff. We're done. We're going to say goodnight. Please be good. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. But that's the other thing. No matter how that movie goes, it'll be better than this. Because there's nothing worse than this. Alright. That's it. Truly. Let's... And then what else do we have coming up? I don't know. We have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Polite Society, Bonnie and Sullivan Part 2, which I'm really not looking forward to. I really didn't like the first one, but we're going to see. But I have to see it now because it left it open. All right. But anyway, bye. See you later. Bye. Yes. Bye.